The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Friday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you as always by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the top right-hand corner of the screen so you know where to go. If you are in the market for a new or used vehicle, make sure to check out Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day, following our great sponsors' lead. I want to take the time to thank Greenwood Chevrolet for their sponsorship of this show. Since I started, they've definitely been the sponsor since I started hosting, and there have been a lot of twists and turns for Running Point. We've changed kind of what it's about. We've changed hosts. We've changed formats. It's a lot that there were a lot of exits, I should say, that Greenwood Chevy had a chance to be like, you know what, we don't believe in this show anymore, but they have stuck to being our main sponsor, and we thank Greenwood Chevrolet for being with us again today for the presenting sponsor of this show. So it's going to be a good day for you today. TGIF, am I right? We have recaps from last night, a great night of basketball, some really close ones too. We have a preview of tonight's action and tomorrow's, and we'll do the weekend like we always do. And also, like we always do, we will feature a player profile today. It'll be from Brookfield, senior Kaylee Wellman, averaging a double-double on the season for the second straight year. Great chance to talk with her about what it's been like in Brookfield this year, adjusting to a lot of new faces and different expectations, new coaching staff, all that fun stuff. It was a great conversation with Kaylee about all that, and I can't wait to play that for you today a little bit later on the show. But like we always do, let's start by hopping into the scoreboard on ysnlive.com, which is presented by, you guessed it, our good friends over at Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. This YSN scoreboard is a great tool for our fans, whether you're at one of the games or watching one of our broadcasts, maybe even both. We hope both, because that would be a great use of your time. Whatever you're doing, you don't want to look away from the action for too long, and the YSN scoreboard is a great tool for you to get live, updated scores of your favorite teams, whether it be your rival or your fan or your friends around the YSN family. There's never a reason not to check the scoreboard. We have a great team behind the scenes that works very hard to make sure that this is live updated, so you don't have to wait until midnight for final scores to come in. And it is all presented by Burnett Pool, Spas, and Hot Tubs. You can find it at ysnlive.com/scores. Let's check out the scoreboard from last night. And we start with a good one in Cortland. The Lakeview Bulldogs gave the conference-leading Poland Bulldogs every possible thing Poland could handle, but you know how to win, and Poland definitely knows how to win in the 88. They pull it out 28-27. They sweat it out. There's a lot of deep breaths, but Poland's still in front of the 88. They still had that one-game lead over Girard, and they escaped Cortland with the win, 28-27. The final score there. Eliana Thompson led the Bulldogs in scoring. Sofia Generalovic also had a good night as well. So did Leanne Williams. Big night for the Bulldogs as they're able to just find ways to win in tough situations. Badger and Pymatuning Valley doing some battle, and it's the Braves that get the 58-31 win over Pymatuning Valley in the rivalry that we all know and love between East Liverpool and Beaver Local. On the girls' side, it is East Liverpool with the win, 62-25, the final score. Blue beats red on Thursday night. Bristol comes into Wyndham and wins by 8, 47-39, the final score for that one. In the MVAC Gray tier, LeBray was able to beat Brookfield at home, 47-32. Final score there. Champion gets the win over Campbell Memorial, 65-12. Crestview goes on the road and gets the win over Newton Falls, 55-10. So both those teams who are going to be playing on Monday night, first place on the line. Crestview needs to win to keep the firm grip of first place. Champion needs a win for a share of first place. And they both win dominatingly in their game prior. So both teams look to be rolling on all cylinders leading up to this game. It's going to be a fun one on Monday in Crestview. The last time they played, it was an 8-point Rebels win in Champion. We go to Niles and Youngstown East, and this one was one of the ones that I thought could be very interesting. But East pulls away late and makes it a 49-30 win over the Dragons. We go to Southern Local and East Palestine, a big night for many reasons in Salineville, as not only do the Indians win 55-20 over East Palestine and keep their chances of an EOAC championship alive, but their superstar, Miss Do Everything, Ashley Schroeds, gets another milestone, 2,000 career points for Ashley Schroeds. We give her a round of applause. Everyone knew exactly what that meant, and I think everyone kind of understood, this is what was going to happen. There weren't too many things that were going to stop Ashley Schroeds from becoming the 2,000 point scorer, and I believe not too many 2,000 point scorers in the YSN family since we've started back in 2017. I know Daishanette Harris did it for Ursuline on the girls' side. I'm trying to think of other players that did it, and I'm kind of drawing a blank, to be honest. She needed 27 points last night to get 2,000. She was also, I'm going to get the number because I want to get it right, because she's going for the county record next. So she was 27 points away last night from 2,000. She got 30. So she's 2,003. She needs 13 more points for the county record in Columbiana County for points in a career. That would be 2016, and we all know that Chelsea Boker holds that from Crestview in Columbiana County. So, pretty good chances that Ashley Schroeds will break that. She has enough games left. She needs 13 points to break the county scoring record in Columbiana County. That's another thing that she can just put a feather in her cap for. And wow, what a player. We'll continue on to the MVAC Gray tier as Liberty gets the win over Garrettsville Garfield, 33-30. I knew they were going to break through very soon. They were so close against Brookfield. They fought hard against South Range last week. They were just starting to put together winning attitudes and winning effort. And I knew eventually they'd find a way to break through. Happy for Liberty getting the win, 33-30 over Garrettsville Garfield. Good job to the Liberty Leopards. And love the way you play. I've said it before on this show. South Range, talk about sweating it out like Poland did in Cortland. They had to really sweat it out. Scoring was at a premium in the Thriller Dome last night. Both defenses were just doing a lot of good things. Hubbard, I thought, made a really good adjustment going from their zone early, switching to a man-to-man defense, and then throwing South Range's tempo way into whack, and the Raiders could not get anything going on offense, but their defense saves the day, and they win 21-20 over the Eagles in the Thriller Dome. You can find post-game interviews with Jeff Fischel and Sidney Pinnock, who led the Raiders with 7 points, on ysnlive.com and on our YouTube page as well. Lisbon gets the win over Latonia, 49-17 last night. That's another win under the belt for Lisbon in the EOAC. Lordstown traveling to Ashtabula St. John. Harold's all over this one, 59-16. Middle Ridge gets a fight from Lowville, but eventually up for the task. 54-43, the final score there. Rams over the Rockets. Springfield gets the win over Sebring, 42-15. So those two teams keep pace with each other. Remember, we're still awaiting the second matchup between the Rams and the Tigers, also on Monday. Monday's going to be a big night on the network for YSN teams. So Springfield and Middle Ridge keep pace. Springfield, same position Crestview is in. They need a win to have the driver's seat in the MVAC Scarlet tier. Middle Ridge needs a win to secure a tie for first place in the MVAC. Springfield won that first matchup between the Tigers and the Rams. We move on to another NEA battle that was not as close as I thought it would. Girard puts their foot down, wins 40-19 over Struthers in Girard. Big win for the Indians, a statement win for them. And I'm sure their practices were not exactly the funnest after that loss to Cardinal Mooney on Monday. So they were probably a very well-oiled, sharpened machine after dropping one to Mooney on Monday. I'm sure their coaching staff got on them a lot during the week in practice because that wasn't typical Girard basketball. And they locked up on defense like they usually do. Their interior defense is really good, especially Mackenzie White and Mia Melito down there. And Girard gets a big win over a very streaking, very hot Struthers Wildcats team. They hold on the 19 points, get the dub. Big win for Girard. United gets the win over Wellsville despite Bella Popplewriter dropping 25 on the Eagles. United had, three players in double figures, and I think a couple of more score 8 or more. So very balanced offense for United. They win 60-36 over the Tigers. Their leading scorer was Addie Blazer with 22 points for the Eagles. Clippers, no problems in the EOAC with Valley Christian. They win 57-5 over the Eagles. Western Reserve gets a 25-point performance from Kylie Ramsey, and they beat McDonald 50-24. Olivia Hughes also added 17 for Western Reserve. Grand Valley squaring off with Cornerstone Christian, and they get the 8-point win, 44-36. Grand Valley, one of those sneaky under-the-radar teams, keeps gathering wins, keeps looking impressive, and they're trending in the right direction as we head towards the end of February, and that may be a team that you don't really want to see come tournament time. We'll see how the RPI and seedings line up when we get closer and closer to that bracket being released. We move on to next in the scoreboard, and it is Mohawk getting the win over Laurel, 44-33. Mohawk has a big one with Beaver Area coming up next. Remember, Beaver Area beat them by 6 the first time those two teams played. So a very close one in Mohawk against Beaver Area. Now Mohawk will go on the road trying to get some revenge on Beaver Area this time around. Not Beaver Area. I don't know why I said that. Beaver Falls. Sorry. Beaver Falls with the next matchup with Mohawk. Not Beaver Area. Scratch everything I just said. Anthony was wrong. Anthony misspoke. It happens from time to time. We go into boys basketball last night. Hoban crowns a new scoring champion as Jonas Nichols becomes the all-time leading scorer in Archbishop Hoban. 76-41. They also get the big win over Spire. So we want to congratulate the new king in the castle as Jonas Nichols once again climbs the mountaintop and gets that win there for the Knights. Beaver Local all over Brook, 67-33. No problems there for the Beavers in the Beaver Dome. So that's your recap. Those are your scores from last night. I thought the teams near in the top tier of the conference had some scares from teams under them, but were able to just find ways to win games. Looking at Poland, I'm looking at South Range, both of them with games against teams below them in the conference standings that got really hairy. Both 1-point wins, and both those teams, South Range and Poland, do have winning, pedigrees, and they found ways to just go and win a game. And there's something to be said about winning experience. And then I think the other story of this night, last night, was really the calm before the storm. You had a couple of teams, a handful of teams take care of business to set up big matchups next. You have Champion getting the win over Camel. They have that big matchup with Crestview on Monday. Crestview does the same thing with Newton Falls. Pretty much the same kind of score, right? 55-10, 65-12. So both teams are really looking good going into that matchup. That should be fun. And then, you have Springfield and Mineral Ridge both doing the same thing. They had to take care of business tonight before they get to Monday, and that's obviously a big matchup with those two on Monday. But they couldn't overlook them, and Mineral Ridge could definitely not overlook Lowville. They have been giving some teams troubles this year. Remember the first time Lowville met Springfield, it was just a 2-point win for the Tigers. So you can't overlook the Rockets, and Mineral Ridge did a good job not doing that. Springfield takes care of business against Sebring, and they set up the big matchup in the next game out. Same thing with the EOAC. It's going to come down, really, to the matchup between Columbiana and United. Columbiana beat Southern. Southern beat United. And they're going to try to make it the same thing that happened the first time around in the conference, right? Where Columbiana beat Southern, Southern beat United, United beat Columbiana. That's how we got a 3-way tie going into the second round. Now the same thing has happened, right? So Columbiana beat Southern again. Southern beat United again. Is United going to make it a trifecta and beat Columbiana? I don't know. It's going to be either a 3-way tie for first or Columbiana alone. Those are kind of your scenarios right now in the EOAC. So a lot of calm before the storm, I think, is how I would describe last night. Calm before the storm, and then a couple of just winning traditional teams finding ways to win through adversity. We know what Poland's going through. Mary Brandt not on the floor. They're finding ways to win. South Range, their offense isn't what it was, even 2 years ago. Their defense is winning them games, and their offense is just finding ways to score enough to win. And they did that last night as well. So you have some teams that with winning pedigrees, getting through some adversity, finding ways to win. And then you also have some calm before the storm going, as we have some big matchups ahead on Monday. But it was because teams took care of business here tonight. And then the last theme of last night, there were a couple. I'm not afraid to admit that, but milestones, right? We had a boy become the program leading scorer in Jonas Nichols for Hoban, and then we had Ashley Trodes get 2,000 career points for Southern Local, and also on the doorstep of being the Columbiana County all-time leading scorer for all county teams. So you have all that happening last night. It was a big one for sure. It had milestones. It had conference championships, set up, I guess I should say. And then it had winning teams finding ways to win. It was a fun night for sure. We'll take a break after that recap, and we'll come back with a player profile from Brookfield's Kaylee Wellman. Don't go anywhere on Running Point. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens on air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com or find us on Facebook.
Your culinary adventure awaits at Legends Food and Drink. Experience a welcoming ambiance while you explore our appetizing menu featuring over 20 meals under $20 and over 30 lunches for $12 or less. Our private dining room seat between 10 and 20 at no additional cost. And don't forget our spacious 35-seat bar for your favorite sporting event. Book your special occasion in our elegant banquet room that seats up to 150 comfortably. Legends Food and Drink, a taste you'll remember. Market Street and Route 224 in Boardman.
Welcome back to Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig with you as always as we truck into the weekend, last weekend in January, I think. Am I doing that right? 26? Yeah, last weekend in January. I can't believe I had to mentally figure that out. That's just, TGIF again. We are going to transition into the player profile section of this show. We have a great one to feature today. It is Kaylee Wellman from Brookfield Senior. What a great leader that Kaylee Wellman is. Averages a double-double this year with last check 15 and 13. 15 points, 13 rebounds this year. Average a double-double last year too. So unless something catastrophic happens, knock on wood, like as hard as possible, because we never want to see anything like that to happen. But Kaylee Wellman's going to go back-to-back years to finish out her high school career, averaging a double-double. So what a great player, great post presence. but also just a player that's able to find ways to score too. I mean, not just getting rebounds down there. She has good post moves, has a good little fadeaway jumper from outside of the key. Can shoot if you leave her open too. So a great basketball player. Maybe we'll see her at the next level. I believe that she can play at the next level anywhere she wants to be honest. So here is Kaylee Wellman from Brookfield. I hope you enjoy this interview as much as I enjoyed the conversation. Hey, Herwig with you, and we are with a Brookfield basketball player profile. I'm joined by now senior Kaylee Wellman. Kaylee, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Of course.
I finally got you on a player profile. I know you've been waiting for it, and here you go. This is your time to shine. First question is, of course, as a senior, what's it been like for you? Just, dealing with all the emotions that come with senior year and knowing that it's the last time you're doing it. And what has that been like for you?
It honestly hasn't really hit me yet. Just like the college aspect of it has stressed me out a little bit, but the sports ending and, possibly not playing that sport again, that's been a little bit stressful.
I mean, you went through your volleyball season. It was the last volleyball season. Did that help you kind of put in perspective what basketball was going to be like?
Actually, yeah, I did. I mean, I thought a lot about my senior seasons and all of my sports just because everything was going to be so new. We had a huge senior class in all of my sports, so I knew it was going to be a bit different, and I was getting new coaches in all of them too, so I knew it was going to be different, and yeah, definitely thought about that.
Let's talk about the differences this year in this basketball team. Like you said, you guys lose a really good senior class last year, and you kind of knew coming in. This wasn't a surprise. You understood what was going to be happening and how much responsibility you were going to have being, I think, one of two returning starters from last year with Maya in there as well. What was it like to just prepare for this season and know that there was going to be a lot asked of you and you were going to have to be a captain and be a leader throughout the whole season?
Yeah, I put in a lot of work over the summer with Coach and Erica Grandy and Maya, and we just got some shots up and we started preparing. The team came in during the summer, and we started practicing then. Not really practicing, but getting used to playing with each other because we weren't really used to that. Most of our girls were on JV last year, so we weren't really used to playing with each other. So we kind of got into that early, so we weren't shocked whenever it came to season.
How have you kind of tempered expectations, I guess I should say? This is a team that has grown every day. They've gotten better every day. But I think everyone knew you weren't going to come out and, win the first 10 games. It was going to take time to really gather yourselves and to learn the game. And like you said, a lot of these girls, JV last year, trying to learn the varsity speed. But I saw you last week and I saw you at the beginning of the season, and the growth is really, really apparent in this team. What has it been like going through it and just trying to stay positive and keep helping, the younger people of the program grow?
Coach Kilborn obviously put in a lot of work with the team. He's been very committed to making us better and helping us get better as a team. And, it's obviously shown that it's working. Just me, Maya, and Erica stepping up and, helping the girls. And we've had Coach Harbison come in and help us with workouts and stuff like that. And Coach Kenny came in and he would talk to us and help us get used to each other and, give us some tips that maybe Coach Kilborn didn't know and stuff like that. So
talk about you as a leader and kind of what are the responsibilities you took this year and how it's been for you mentally trying to take that next leadership role.
Yeah, so like in super stressful moments, like at Liberty the other night or at against Maplewood yesterday, whenever we're in foul trouble and, the girls not like talking about the fouls not being there or, super just overwhelming moments that the girls aren't used to because, they never had that experience last year at JV. So, just stepping up and trying to calm everybody down and keep everybody focused and keep their head in the game.
Now we talk about, the things that you've already accomplished. You talk about this year, you look at your stats, you're averaging a double-double. I don't know if you knew that, but 15 points, 13 rebounds. I mean, it's pretty remarkable considering you averaged a double-double last year too. What works so well? What makes you, have so much success?
I just really like look of it. You know, I like that I get to say I average a double-double my junior and my senior year. I like to say that, you know, I average almost 14 rebounds per game. So it's just super important to me to know you keep that stat going and keep up the work, because I like how it looks. I like that it makes me look like a hard worker and that I can fight in the paint even though I'm not 6 foot tall and super strong. You know, I just like that I'm able to say that.
All right, so you're not 6 foot tall. You're pretty dang close. You're not super strong like you said, but you know you're built. When you think of the work ethic that it's taken to become a good rebounder and the things that you've had to do and the techniques you've had to really master, talk about the work you've put in and how proud you are that you've gotten to where you are now.
Yeah, actually, my sophomore year, I put in a lot of work with my uncle. My uncle, he's a bigger guy, but he played point guard his high school year, so he's helped me a lot in the post. And Coach Forsythe helped me a lot last year and previous years in putting in work in the post, because he told me I'd have to take on that role with my height, because Brookfield doesn't have a lot of height, so I have been the tallest girl for a couple years. So I knew that I have to put in that role of being a post player, and my coaches just always helping me and putting me in the post and practicing post moves and getting bodies and rebounds and stuff like that.
We know that no one can coach work ethic. It is something that is in a player that's, I want to work hard for this. I want to make myself better. That sophomore year, when you decided that you were going to really put in the time and the effort to become a good rebounder, what were some of the driving forces that made you want to get into the gym every day and work hard?
Yeah, also going right back to my uncle, he had 2 20-point, 20 rebound games his senior year. And, I wanted to have that. That's super huge to have 20 points and 20 rebounds. So I wanted to do that. And I wanted to be able to accomplish that by my senior year. And I had 28 points, 20 rebound games. And, I was super proud of that. But I knew that my sophomore year, I was going to have to put in a lot of work to get there, because, not only are the girls going to get better, but I need to get better and I need to get stronger to be able to do that. So
when you graduate and you look back on all the accomplishments that the hard work that we're talking about has given you, what are going to be some of your proudest accomplishments that you've had with Brookfield?
Yeah, definitely my stats, that's for sure. Saying I averaged a double-double 2 years in high school is huge to me. I'm definitely going to look back on that and be like, yep, I had 15 points and 13 rebounds my senior year. I averaged that. That'll be huge for me. And then saying like the past year's experiences that I've had with, the seniors last year and going to districts 2 years, even though we didn't win, it was like a super proud moment where we knew we worked really hard to get there, and it was a huge accomplishment for us.
One of the things that defines how, good a senior is how they leave the program when they graduate. And I want to talk about the next leaders, or the people that you're growing and the people that you're taking under your wing this year. Who are some players that you already see, halfway through the season, they're starting to sharpen their leadership teeth, and you kind of think next year when you graduate, they're going to be the ones that step up and lead this program?
Yeah, obviously Maya Jumper, she's going to be a huge leader. She already is. She stepped into those footsteps a while ago. She's really good at that. She's a confident girl. She's strong. She knows what she's doing. She has a very high IQ in basketball. Maddie Fisher, she's going to be good, with leading. She's already there too also. You haven't really seen it yet because, we still have us, but she's definitely stepped into those leadership roles also.
Now we're talking about, leadership and your leadership, but someone had to teach you how to lead. Who are some seniors of the past that really took you under their wing and taught you how to be a good leader?
Yeah, definitely Sophia Hook. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone saw that coming. Sophia Hook was a great leader. She was so inspirational towards me. Like, I really looked up to her. I wanted to be like her. I wanted to play as hard as her, be able to hit shots like that, and just really help the team. She's helped us so much. And even though like she's in college now, she still helped us so much. She came to one of our games and we were all like super excited. We wanted to have a good game because we wanted her to see that, we took into her steps and, watched what she did and played how she would want us to play.
I don't think you're alone in, having Sophia someone that made the impact in their basketball career or wanted to be, emulate their game towards Sophia Hook. Next year, when we're doing a Brookfield player profile, we ask maybe Maya Jumper or maybe some of the other leaders of the team, what kind of impact being your teammate had on them. What would you hope their answer would be?
I would definitely say, the amount of effort I put in at the post and help trying to keep girls off the boards and, not let them get so many layups or, offensive rebounds. And also, I want them to, just like take into account that I really care for the team and I really want them to do good and I really want us to succeed.
You're a student athlete. Student comes first in that word for a reason. We have to talk about your studious work. What kind of things do you like learning about in school? What are some of your favorite subjects?
I go to TCTC, so I'm in veterinary science. So like that's obviously one of my favorite classes. I love learning about that stuff. And actual academic wise, I definitely say math. Math is probably one of my favorites. I love that there's always one answer or, one answer that's relates to another, but there's never like many answers, it's just one answer. I love that.
Being in veterinary science, I'm guessing that's something that you want to pursue after high school. That's a career path you want to go into.
Yeah.
So what drove you to that? What were some things that made you want to, get into veterinary science?
As a kid, I've always loved animals. Like even like, frogs outside when it would rain, I would love them. I'd always hold them, maybe gross to some people, but I just always loved playing with any type of animals. And I have wanted to be a vet since I was a kid, and I didn't really understand it until I got older. But then, I visited TCTC my 8th grade year, and I loved the program, so I really wanted to do that. So then I got there, and we started learning about the stuff, and I definitely took into account, that being my future job.
Let's talk about animals. How many pets do you have? And we saw your dog before we hit record, so we know you have at least a dog. How many pets do you have?
Yeah, I have 3 dogs. That's all.
Three dogs. Okay. Which one is the craziest, behavior dog?
My Chihuahua is definitely the rowdiest. He's older though. He has really bad hips, so he can't really run very fast anymore. But he's definitely, very talkative in the sense of
Is that why he had to leave the room?
Yes, that is why he had to leave the room. He loves sitting at the window and he will bark like crazy.
If your dogs could talk, what do you think they would say about you? What do you think are some of the things they would say to you?
Oh, definitely that I'm like super affectionate. I always love to cuddle my dogs. I will snatch them up at any moment and I'll just hold them and I'll make them sit there. They're all tiny, so I just love holding my dogs.
Come here, let me love you. What are some animals that are like your dream pets? If you could have any animal, it doesn't matter like how exotic it is. Let's take training out of the example and just say, hey, you can have any animal you want as a pet. What animal would you want?
Definitely a monkey. I love monkeys. I would love to have a monkey. They're super cool. They're very smart. Although the only thing is they're super bad and they're really active. So
that's why we're taking the whole domestication, how hard it is, out of the equation. We're just saying, in a perfect world where you could have any animal and it could all be domesticated, we'll go with a monkey. I like it. What are some of your fears? I guess I should say childhood fears. We all have some irrational childhood fears that we have. What are some of yours?
It used to be, not playing college sports. I always loved basketball and I really wanted to play college basketball, but I kind of stopped worrying about that so much. But now I would definitely say, either like failing out of college, which I don't think that'll happen, hopefully, or, not getting into the field or not getting accepted into vet school because, that's super hard, but it's kind of normal.
I have mad respect for you going into like actual like living fears you have right now, because most people are like, I used to be scared of spiders or the dark. They'll go into one of those ones that they had when they were 6 years old. But mad respect for you, telling us things that you're worried about. I don't think you're gonna fail out of college. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Talking about college basketball, is it completely off the table, or are you just like kind of not putting it in the front of mind right now?
Oh, no, I'm definitely looking into college basketball. I was just scared that I wasn't going to end up playing college sports, but I've got some college coaches reaching out to me, potentially playing basketball there or volleyball or my other sports. So that's why it's kind of off the table now, because I don't really have to worry about that not happening because I know it's an option now.
Gotcha. Okay. So when you're looking at all these programs, I want you to come play basketball, I want you to come play volleyball, you're trying to make that decision. Let's talk about programs, what they can have, what they can offer, and what you're kind of looking for in those.
Yeah, I just like a team, who's super helpful in the aspect of learning new things or getting better at things. I was a point guard in middle school, and I barely touched the ball as a point guard. previous years, but today my senior year, I've kind of stepped into that role more. So just, college that are going to help me learn the new roles better and be super supportive and, just not give up on me whenever I'm trying to learn how to be a better shooter.
You looking to travel away from home a little bit, or do you want to stay pretty close?
I don't want to go too far, but I don't want to be too close also.
Right. That perfect in between, right?
Yeah.
So that does mean you're going to live, out of the home on campus, I'm assuming, wherever you do decide to go. What kind of things make you kind of nervous about not having the comforts of home anymore?
Definitely money. That's a problem nowadays. I want to be able to, not have to worry about as a college student, that kind of stuff. So hopefully that's not a problem. But, being away from home is also going to be a huge thing. I've obviously always lived with my parents, and I've always had my parents to help me, like, no matter what. My grandparents have always been there to support me too. So not having that as close to me as I have my whole entire life is just going to be a huge difference.
All right, last question. What is one home cooked meal that you're going to miss the most when you're in college?
I'm not a super big eater, so I don't really have that favorite kind of meals, but my mom makes beef tips and noodles, and I love it. Like, it's so good. I'm definitely gonna miss that, but I'm sure she'll make it for me.
I was going to say you better pick something.
Yeah.
Your mom's going to see this and be like, well, we're not cooking for you anymore. I want to give you the chance before we let you go to, turn the light on off of you and on to the people that support you. Wanting to let you give shout outs to all the people in your support system and anyone that you think deserve it. You can take as much time as you want to do that.
Yeah. So, basketball kind of started off with my dad. My dad started coaching me in like 3rd grade, and he's been there through every step of the way. He pushes me, he talks to me after every game, he talks to me before every game to make sure I'm pumped up and ready to go. He's always been super supportive for me in that. My mom, she's driven me to tons and tons of AAU games. She's paid for so much stuff. So has my dad. My uncle has been a huge person that I can lean on for basketball if I need any type of help, any type of support with anything, not even just basketball. He's always been there. So creds to my uncle. He's got me where I'm at. My coaches, Coach Kenny, Coach Fondrick, Coach Kilborn, even, like, they've all been super, super supportive in me. They've helped me grow as a player. They helped me become a leader. They've helped me learn new things about being a leader. They've helped me keep my head on top of my shoulders at some points when I get frustrated. So definitely them.
All right, Kaylee, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck the rest of your senior year, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much.
Kaylee Wellman from Brookfield joining us for a great interview, like I said, and a great leader, and like I also said, averaging a double-double last 2 seasons in her high school career, and she's going to go off to do amazing things, whatever her future holds. I am very, very confident about that. Let's jump into the preview section of this show, see what we're going to have going on tonight and also over the weekend. We'll scroll down to the bottom of the scores page on ysnlive.com and click on the 26th and look at the games we have tonight. A full slate of basketball. And we'll start in the AAC as Austintown Fitch travels to Boardman. Bristol goes to Ashtabula St. John. Lakeview and Indiana traveling to their Bulldog counterparts in Bowling. We have Camel go into Garrettsville Garfield. Carrollton go into Salem. Champion at LeBray tonight. Crestview goes to Brookfield. We have East Palestine traveling on the road to Southern Local. Edgewood goes to Ashtabula Lakeside to take on the Dragons. Girard will be at Struthers tonight inside that field house. Get yourself some of that popcorn. It's the best in the area. Howland will be at Canfield tonight as AAC play continues for both teams. Canfield trying to bounce back from their first league loss on Tuesday against Austintown Fitch. Ursuline will go to Youngstown East. That's a conference matchup in the excuse me. Sorry about that. In the Steel Valley. In the Steel Valley Conference, Youngstown East against Ursuline. Jackson Milton will go to Western Reserve tonight. Jefferson hitting the road, going to Conneaut. We have Liberty traveling to Newton Falls, and Lisbon going to Latonia. Some Battle of the L's right there in Lisbon and Latonia. Lisbon trying to stay undefeated inside the EOAC and get win number 10 in the conference. Lordstown will travel to Wyndham tonight. We have Badger hosting Maplewood. Warren Harding makes the trip to Cheney. McDonald will go to Sebring. Middle Ridge at Waterloo tonight. South Range on the road against Hubbard. We have the Urban Scholars, Academy of Urban Scholars, excuse me on that, will travel to Heartland Christian. Valley Christian hitting the road to Columbiana. That should be actually a really fun one going down in the hangar down there in Clipper Country. Wellsville traveling to United tonight. East Liverpool is going to be hosting Wheeling Park. Lowville going to Springfield and VAC Scarlet tier action there. Orange hosting Chagrin Falls. Mooney hosting Canton Central Catholic, who just beat Warren JFK on Wednesday, so that should be a fun one and a good challenge for the Cardinals in Youngstown. Mohawk will host Elwood City. Excuse me. We have Berkshire going to Grand Valley. Matthews will travel to Pymatuning Valley. And last but not least, West Branch will travel to Alliance tonight inside the EBC. We also have, Beaver Area will be at Central Valley tonight, 7:30 start time there. So the Bobcats back in action. Don't want to miss that as they're on the road at Central Valley for a matchup with them. Let's dive into the broadcast tonight, where announcers will be out and where you can find the games. There's a lot of broadcasts on the network tonight. I think 26 games last time I looked. And let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yay. Oh, I'm on the wrong Friday. That's why I was like, that doesn't sound right. Friday. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 broadcasts on the network tonight. It's going to be a fun one. And we start with Lakeview at Poland, the school's broadcast crew, and the students down there will have you covered with that. Donnie Riccatelli going to be in Boardman as Austintown Fitch comes to town. The school broadcast network will have you covered with Garfield hosting Camel. Derek Rhodes going to be in Salem for their matchup with Carrollton. The Figley brothers going to be in Southern to travel with East Palestine. Sam Torres and Larry Jennings are going to be at Lakeside for the matchup with Edgewood and Lakeside. Bob Zanny and Matthew McConaughey going to be in the Fieldhouse for Struthers against Girard. Noah Ricks traveling to Canfield with Howland as their matchup with the Cardinals. DJ Oakley will be in Western Reserve for their rivalry trophy game with Jackson Milton. WOW TV will have you covered for Conneaut with their matchup with Jefferson. Rick Daly will be on the call against with Lisbon against Latonia. Wyndham YouTube going to be there for you for Lordstown and Wyndham. Bill Shea going to be covering Maplewood at Badger. Ty Bartel will be in Waterloo again as they match up with Middle Ridge. Dom O'Brien will be at Mogador for their matchup with Warren JFK. Zach Svensson will go to Hubbard with South Range coming to town. Larry Scragg will be in Heartland Christian for their matchup with the Urban Scholars. Joe Sebio will be at Columbiana against Valley Christian. Chris Sigler will be in United as they welcome in Wellsville. Gary Burton will be in East Liverpool for their matchup with Wheeling Park. Myself, I will be at Springfield for their matchup with Lowville. Tim Corso going to be at East with Youngstown Ursuline. Orange School will have you covered with a YouTube coverage there. Michael Janaki going to be at Mooney for their matchup with Canton Central Catholic. Eric Hughes going to be at Mohawk. And last but not least, on the basketball side, Berkshire Grand Valley will be covered by Tyler Hartz. We will also have Orange swimming on the network tonight. The school will be taking care of that as well. So all of that on the network tonight. ysnlive.com/live is where you can find it. Let's hop into tomorrow's scoreboard and see what will be going on over the weekend before we see each other again on Monday. Girls basketball, we have Heartland Christian and Bristol. Poland travels to Salem in a non-conference test inside the Quaker Crazies, trying to deal with them. West Branch goes to Struthers. We have Jefferson traveling to Conneaut. Edgewood goes to Lakeside tomorrow. Fitch goes to Boardman. That should be a real fun one. Howland goes to Canfield. Boys basketball, Canfield will host Salem. Hoban will be at Lutheran West. Beaver Local will be at Bel Air. And Liberty will host Cheney in boys basketball tomorrow. Here's what broadcast you can expect on the network on tomorrow's schedule. We have DJ Yoakley going to be on the call at Boardman. We have Bob Zaney and Matthew McConaughey going to be on the call in Struthers for the Fieldhouse there. Noah Rick's going to be at Canfield for their girls basketball game against Howland. And then he will also be at Liberty tomorrow for the girls basketball matchup between Cheney and Liberty. Tim Corso will be at Canfield for boys basketball against Salem. Scheduling note that the matchup between Ashtabula St. John girls against Maplewood, originally scheduled for tomorrow, has been moved to Monday, so that game will be taken care of on Monday. We will also have the EOWL finals from Austintown Fitch with Chris Colucci on the call. 14 matches in the finals. That'll be broadcasted on YSN Live as well. So that's going to be there. Every one of those games that I just mentioned will also be on the network tomorrow. It should be a fun day. Once again, ysnlive.com/live is where you can find all of these matchups. We want to thank you so much for tuning in to Running Point today. That'll do it for today's episode. We want to wish everyone tonight the best of luck. And we also want to thank Kaylee Wellman for her time, giving us an interview that we were able to feature on today's show. And we want to remind you that we will be back on Monday from 1 to 2 with more Running Point, brought to you as always by our good friends over